You ever seen that movie? Buffalo '66, good movie.
Is it? Oh yeah.
The guy Vincent
Vin-
Gallo.
What happened to him?
He lost his mind.
Yeah, he was crazy
Yeah, he
as
was
it was.
crazy.
That's why he was
And he
so
made a
brilliant.
movie where he had a girl, like, actually do something to him on camera. For real. It's in the movie. It's called Bugs Bunny or something.
Hi, this is Luke Rudy, and you're listening to the commentary track for The Brown Bunny 2, also known as The Bugs Bunny. This film relies heavily on one's familiarity with the original 2003 film The Brown Bunny, as well as the controversy surrounding the film and its director, Vincent Gallo. And for that reason, I think our film was also similarly doomed to be misunderstood. The original Brown Bunny opens with Vincent Gallo's character, Bud Clay, participating in a motorcycle race in New Hampshire. And this sort of kicks off the thin plot in which Bud has to travel to Los Angeles for the site of his next race. And along the way, we get fleeting flashbacks of Bud with his lost lover, played by Chloe Sevigny, who appears to no longer be in the picture, and it's not until the end that we find out why. So for this film, we felt it should start at the protagonist's place of work, and at the time, Griffin was working at a coffee warehouse. So Griffin explained it to his boss, and I think he told him it was for a school project, which I guess would have been easier to explain than the Brown Bunny. And so the boss agreed. Now, a lot of these shots might seem mundane, but they're actually pretty faithful recreations of a lot of the imagery in The Brown Bunny. Vincent Gallo taking showers and eating and drinking and filling up for gas, and bug splats accumulating on the window as he drives. So most of the imagery in this film, which might seem overlong or monotonous, is all very intentional and precise. So what inspired this film was that Griffin and I got word that Vincent Gallo would be showing The Brown Bunny at the New Beverly Cinema in La Brea, Los Angeles, which is Quentin Tarantino's repertory movie house. This was really at the height of our respective Vincent Gallo fixations, so we knew we had to make the trip, and we thought, well, why not make a little video out of the trip? And that basically turned into, well, why don't we make a parody of The Brown Bunny, sans the infamous blowjob scene, unless, circumstances presented themselves. So the loose plot of our film basically concerns an obsessive Vincent Gallo fan making the trip out to Los Angeles in hopes of seeing Vincent Gallo in the flesh. So in that sense, Griffin becomes the Vincent Gallo character in the original Brown Bunny, and Vincent Gallo becomes, this fleeting, ghostly point of fixation for Griffin's character, like the Chloe Sevigny character in the original film. And in a way, these interviews and clips of Vincent Gallo that are sprinkled throughout the film fill the role that the flashbacks with Chloe Sevigny in the original film did, as if they're playing in Griffin's head. So this is by far our longest film, mostly because we really wanted to faithfully recreate these long stretches of driving that are in the original film. And in this way, the film succeeds at presenting the Brown Bunny experience, because I really don't think I'd ever want my mom or my dad to watch the Brown Bunny. So by creating this film, it was sort of an opportunity to fill in the gaps for them when Griffin or myself would ramble on about Vincent Gallo, and they knew, okay, that's the movie with the long driving scenes and the smoldering and the navel gazing, but especially the driving. And the driving sections really are this long, so we wanted to do it right.
So I have to say I love you in a song.
The beautiful I-5.
Kinda strange. Every time I'm near you, I just run out of things to say. I know you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Every time the time was right, all the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kinda late. I hope I didn't wake you, but there's something that I just gotta say. I know you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song.
This section was obviously filmed when Griffin wanted a smoke break, and I think in my effort to get him not to smoke so much marijuana, I told him that I would play the section of the film where Vincent Gallo rambles on about how bad marijuana is for you in hopes of him wanting to aspire to be more like his hero. But I don't think that really stopped Griffin.
Put the fumes in the room, like
And Vincent Gallo really goes off here.
Radiohead, and there's like
Pot
10
everywhere.
right,
Right.
potheads.
Who needs that?
Lock them up.
You know.
Johnny Ramone didn't like
Lock
it.
them up. No, good American, Johnny Ramone. Lock them up for pot.
Here, I found the pot smoker on line 1.
Oh God.
Here he is.
Oh, here they go.
Hello.
Hey, you're famous, more famous for being famous, Gallo.
Yeah.
Who is it?
And you make
Yeah.
more money.
All this because I made it with your mother. Is this how you turn against me?
Yeah, you're nothing.
And let me tell you, your mom is, I mean, a pro. She takes it like a pro, a real pro, a real pro. Don't give me the pot theory, because nobody who's ever done anything good did it on a long-term pot high. Believe me, they faded away quick. Even McCartney doesn't smoke pot till 71, where he starts really going at it, and then by 73 he's fried. He's fried by 73. Even John McEnroe, he was a pro, a champ. Somebody hands him a joint and he's out of tennis in 3 days.
I think he's gone.
Every single sentence.
This is real footage of Vincent Gallo and Chloe Sevigny at the Cannes Film Festival press conference, and the boos that you hear are real. They did get booed. It's contested whether it really received as much vocal criticism as Gallo claims, but you do hear them booing.
What it was that I was doing, just like dishwashing, where I became the best.
Vincent Gallo complaining about how he wasn't recognized for his incredible dishwashing abilities.
Reviewed in a magazine about food. They commented on how fucking clean the place was. That was me.
Gold and silver is the autumn.
This flashback is of Vincent Gallo. Early on in the 80s, he was featured on this, I don't even know what you call these. You know, on public access, they have like those dance parties. I think it was kind of like that, but I think you would actually buy the videotape of just early 80s hip hop hangouts, and Vincent Gallo went by Prince Vince, and I was able to find that footage and overlay it over that scene. And then this scene here is an homage to a scene that happens in the original film where Vincent Gallo stops at a rest stop and he sees Cheryl Tiegs, who looks sad and lonesome, and they kiss because, you know, they're sort of like passing lonely people, and then Gallo moves on. And whether that was just an opportunity for Vincent Gallo to make out with Cheryl Tiegs, I don't know, but we stopped at a rest stop, so we figured we'd have this scene where Griffin walks to the rest stop and he kind of looks around, almost like he's looking for Cheryl Tiegs, but alas, she's not there. And it sort of emphasizes that eternal truth that life really isn't like it is in the movies. Even a movie like The Brown Bunny, which strives to simulate the monotony of life, and even so, no Cheryl Tiegs.
1, 2, and 3. Autumn leaves, and then the winter. Spring is born and wanders free. Gold and silver burns my heart on. All too soon they'd fade and die. In the night, no, there'd be no other.
The shot of Vincent Gallo superimposed over the horizon, besides being a very inspired little bit of imagery, I must say, was also the thumbnail that I used for the video on YouTube. And for a long time, until my massive success with Limp, it was my highest viewed video on YouTube. I think simply because it was called The Brown Bunny 2, and it had this image of Vincent Gallo superimposed over the sky. And here's an interview with Vincent Gallo where he gets emotional. He also has bleached hair, but he gets emotional recalling a story where his mother looked at him on, I don't know, his 12th birthday or something like that, and remarked that he used to be so pretty, and now look at him. And I'm glad that my parents never said anything like that to me, or Griffin, as far as I know.
And it freaked out my mother, but I didn't know it at first. I knew it personally, but I thought she still liked me, and somehow she still was proud of me. But on my 12th birthday, she brought the little cheap little cake that she made each birthday, and she put the candles on the cake, and she looked at me, and she started to cry, and she really, I mean, she was very upset. She started to cry, and my father got kind of nervous, and he looked at her and he said, you know, what are you, a psychopath, Jan? You know, your son's birthday, what are you crying? And she looked at me and she said, my son Vincey was such a beautiful baby, and now look at him.
And then we cut to Griffin crying. I think it's sort of like the fan is crying about how sad that must be for Vincent Gallo, but I think Griffin did a really good job there. I think that was a great little bit of acting from him, and I don't even think he knows it. And then these shots bug me because this is supposed to be Griffin arriving in Los Angeles, but by the time we were driving, we realized that we hadn't gotten a shot of him arriving in Los Angeles, going over the big hills. So this is actually all from after we left Los Angeles, and I think anybody who's actually driven would notice this isn't on the way to Los Angeles, this is leaving Los Angeles, and it bugs me to this day. We should have just gotten the shots as we were arriving.
The one you run to see in the evening when the day is done. I only know what I know. The passing years will show kept my love so young, so new.
And this is the shot that's most obvious. I mean, that you are clearly driving into the valley, but what can you do? Yeah, that is not Los Angeles on the horizon. That is what? Bakersfield? And it shows what I know.
Say that I'm so lucky to be loving
you. Here is the apartment of Maximilian Helfman. I don't even mind talking over this scene because we did such a poor job of recording the audio in this scene. You can hardly hear a word that Max says. But what he says to Griffin is basically, look, this Vincent Gallo thing, it's getting out of hand. It's freaking everybody out. And look, just, you know, don't do anything weird at the screening. Please don't embarrass me there.
Vincent Gallo thing. It's just way over the top. Way too far.
And you can see that Griffin knows that he won't be able to resist. Poor Max got roped into this. He let us sleep at his place that night. And here we are at the New Bev. It was funny because as we were getting closer to LA, we got word that Vincent Gallo was actually going to be there. We didn't know on the way that he would be there. And we thought that maybe the perfect way to end this film would be if we approached Vincent Gallo and tried to get him on camera. And it's sort of like the climax of the movie is that the fan approaches Vincent Gallo, and it would sort of be our blowjob scene in the movie. Not that Griffin would give Vincent Gallo a blowjob, although I don't know that for sure. But when we tried to ambush him in the lobby, he quickly got out of there. He had a handful of like 20 paper towels, and he did not want to shake our hands, and he quickly scuttled out of there and told us to enjoy the movie. But it was a very memorable experience, and in a way, we achieved what Vincent Gallo couldn't, because you know, in life, sometimes you don't get a blowjob.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoy the film. Thanks so much.
Yeah, so Griffin's driving back home. His lonely drive home. And we freeze frame here, just like in the real movie. Yep. And then one of the most faithful homages in the movie is the way I did these credits. This is almost exactly the way the credits appear, down to the font and the tracking. Director of photography, me. Support, general support, Griffin Rudy. We used some of the actual songs used in the original film and some of our own. Griffin is credited as the fan, Maximilian the friend, Gallo himself, because we, of course, feature some of the introduction that we illicitly recorded in there. The original film says that Vincent Gallo drives a Honda, blah, 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 his motorcycle, so we switched it out with the Corolla. And yeah, The Brown Bunny 2. It was an act of love. Thank you for listening.